Good afternoon. A couple of months ago I purchased a forklift from GovPlanet to be able to turn the military trucks into expedition vehicles. And when you buy something from GovPlanet, you never know what you're getting. Even if they say they run, you never know if they will, and if they say they don't run, sometimes it's just they need batteries and fluids, and and they'll run pretty quickly. So the forklift that I bought a couple of months ago, it actually did run, which is a good thing, but it doesn't run very well. There's a number of problems with it. So today I'm just going to do a quick walk around on it, show you what's going on, and then start a little bit of the work. So let's dive in and take a look at what I've got here. So, not sure what it is. If anybody watching this knows who manufactured this forklift, I would very much like to know. I thought it was a silent hoist, but I've been told it's not. Thought it was a Cat because I saw another one similar to it that had, what do I want to say, that had some Cat stickers on it, but I don't think it's a Cat either. It was built in, looks like July of 1976. It's got a Ford inline 6-cylinder engine, 300 cubic inch engine that's in it. You can see it there. And then torque converter transmission. The transmission is a BorgWarner T22 transmission. I found that out, and it's giving me some grief. So we'll do a walk around here. The gas tank that you see up top is actually supposed to be down here, but as you'll see, this gas tank got hit. So that's the old gas tank right there. I'm not sure what happened, but it got hit somehow. So that got taken off. So the temporary gas tank is up there to gravity feed the engine. So that's one of the projects I've got to take care of. Operator compartment in through here, and we'll jump up in here. And part of the issue with this is that when you put it into gear, into gear, I guess they call them inching valves, it doesn't really want to run unless you're super high RPMs. And it could be a bad torque converter, although I don't think it is. It's only got 980 hours on it, supposedly, if the hour meter works. Actually the hour meter does work on it. So it's got 980.2 hours on it, which is actually pretty good. So it's low mileage. The way this thing works, down in here, so this is the forward and reverse. So that's reverse, neutral, that's reverse, that's neutral, that's forward, and then it's in neutral now, but that is high gear and low gear, parking brake, and then this raises up and down the forks. This tilts it back or forward. This is shift, so when you push this forward, it will shift all the forks to the right. Pull it down, it'll shift the forks to the left, and then if you push it forward, the forks will go out or in. I'll show that to you later. No key on this. It actually It won't start, I don't think. Yeah, I thought there might be enough fuel in it to start it up real quick. But the issues that I have with this, and when I put it in gear, in low gear and forward or reverse, I have to be almost full throttle to get it to run. And that's obviously not good. So I either have a bad torque converter, or I have the engine gear, which is these right here, are adjusted wrong, or the internal pump in the transmission is bad. I'm hoping that it's just an adjustment, and it'll be up and running. But if not, I'm gonna have to pull the engine, the transmission, and then rebuild the transmission on this. So I'm hoping that it's just an adjustment in it, but I got a feeling it's bad, and I'm gonna have to replace it, which sucks at 980 hours, but sometimes that's the way it goes. So, all right, let's jump out. Let's look a little bit more. Let's talk a little bit about the engine and what I need to do with it. So this engine, I think you can see it right back here, is Ford 300 cubic inch inline 6, and it's their industrial engine. They put this engine in a bunch of things. I mean, all sorts of projects. Got all sorts of projects. Got these engines. And the nice thing is, with the industrial engine, if I remember right, it had a heavier duty crank. So it was a little more robust than the standard engine. Overall, it runs pretty well when it runs and it gets enough fuel. But you'll see here, this is the fuel pump that went down to where there used to be a gas tank right here. And the fuel pump, I don't know if it's good or bad. I've got to test that. I think it's just this solenoid right in here that's probably bad on it. That's what I'm hoping. And I can just replace that. And then if fuel pump will work, then I'll build a platform down here, put another aftermarket gas tank on it, and we should be good to go. Hopefully. And then some of the other things that are in here, obviously this is the engine oil filter. This is actually the transmission fluid filter for the transmission. This comes down in, goes down, the two lines go into that T22 transmission. This is the power steering reservoir here. I think this line has been set in the wrong place, so I'm going to pull this off and move it. Some of these belts are pretty well worn out, so they scream quite a bit. The thermostat is right here, and then the water pump is right down here. And I'm pointing those out. I'm going to go around the other side here. I'm pointing those out because after I ran the engine for about 20-30 minutes the other day, it started to get hot. So one of the things I have to figure out is, do I have bad thermostat or bad water pump, or both? So alternator here, belt running up to run around the water pump here, which I'm going to check the water pump. The thermostat goes in here. So it was getting really hot the other day. It wasn't necessarily overheating, but it just was a little cantankerous. So I want to pull the thermostat, look at that, and I'm probably gonna replace all these belts, and it's not too big of a deal to pull that water pump, so I'm probably gonna pull the water pump off that as well. Take a look at that and make sure that it's working the way it's supposed to. Carburetor actually seems to be running okay. Not phenomenal, but it's running okay. I'll probably rebuild it at some point in time, but if I don't have to rebuild it right now, I'm not going to. So, and then some of the electronics back in here. Once again, more on the transmission. And one of the things that I am trying to figure out on the transmission, I'm gonna stick this down in here, sorry, is right here. I'm not sure what this lever is, but it goes to a plunger up on a valve body of the T22 transmission, and it's wired off. And I'm not sure what that's for and why it's wired off, but it looks like it might be an original. So I'm going to try to figure that out. But that's kind of the inside underneath, and I'll just show you more on that later. All right, so that is the forklift for right now, and I think I'm just going to dive in and start seeing what's wrong with it. Hopefully nothing major. If it's nothing major, then I've got a really phenomenal forklift for just a few bucks. If it is anything major, like rebuilding the transmission, it's not that expensive, but it's just a really, really big project that I'm hoping I don't have to do. So I'm going to dive into this. I'm going to start out by loosening up the water pump so I can get these belts ready to pull off of here. And I'm not really sure how I'm going to get the belt off for the pump up here. I think I just have to unbolt the front of it and let it drop down. Not real sure, but we'll figure that out as we go. So, alright, let's go ahead and jump in and get started. And this is going to be a pain in the ass because the bolts are rotating on it, and I've got to get on with two ratchets, so I'm going to need more tools. Go around the other side here. I'm not sure if we got any of this, any of the last bolt coming off. Let's see if we can't get this. There we go. It's loose. Now the question is, can I pull it back? Or you can get the drive shaft off so I can get the belts off. Or do I have to take these hoses off? That I don't want to do. Guess if I go the right way, it helps. Oh, it's coming. It's moving off. See if I can pull this bolt now. Get this off of here. All right, that's the other bolt. Moment of truth. I have a feeling I'm gonna have to take one or both of these hoses off, and I really don't want to do that. It is not looking good. I'm going to see if I can pry it off the front of the engine, but I have a feeling this hose is going to have to come off. Sure feels that way. Just doesn't have any room. Bigger pry bars, let's see what happens. Oh, got it. Yes. Yes. Not sure how I'm going to get it back on, but it's off. And right now, that's all I care about. It's off. Now, I have to take that other end off. I can get the belts off now. Let's go ahead and get that nut off of there. Easier access to that fan. Tip this forward a little bit. That came over. And I think, I'm hoping I can get that whole thing around there, around the back side, but I'm not sure if I can or not. Maybe I can raise it up. Not looking good. That does not want to come loose. So I'm going to just unwind it. Maybe. I think I got it. Well, it's not off, but I got one fin through, and now and the guy just bring it back around, maybe. Hanging up on a fin. The fan shroud on this thing is super close, and I think I should have been running it from this side, but I'm not, and I don't know if I can get it through the way I want it to. Here we go. Thought I had it. Oh, pretty crazy when you thought something was going to take 10 minutes and it took a half an hour. One belt. Of course, it's not off yet. Now it is. Now it is. Okay, well that took way longer than I thought it was going to. That's a pain in the ass. But I can now get the rest of the belts off and take them in and get new belts for it, pull the water pump off and do everything else. So gotta look for a nut down here. So I'm gonna turn off the camera, crawl under and look for that, and I'll be back. Well, it got overcast and spit a little bit, but never got bad. So I just kept working. The fan's good, so no issues there. The water pump, as you'll see here, is in absolutely spectacular condition. So it is really good. No need to make any changes there. But the thermostat, I'll change it out. It looks like it's seen better days. But the thermostat housing, when I took it apart, I just barely touched it. And I don't know if you can see it, but it's rusted 3/4 of the way through and all the way through here. So looks like somebody's at some point in time done some sort of botch job on this. But the bottom line is this is bad. So my assumption is it's a thermostat, and then thermostat housing is what's causing this thing to be so bad, which is good news because these are not that expensive and they're pretty easy to get replaced. So I'm gonna shut down and probably gonna have them load test the the alternator as well, and then new belts. So new belts on everything, and then come back and put it back together. So we'll see you in a little while. I hope you'll continue to join me as I work through the issues on the forklift, which there turns out to be a number of them. And remember, don't be afraid to get out there, get your hands dirty, and try something new. Have a great day. Bye now.